The xenobiology lecture hall of the Galactic Medical Academy buzzed with nervous energy as Professor Zalthor, a towering Centauri with crystalline skin, surveyed the diverse array of students before him. Among the sea of scales, chitinous plates, and bioluminescent membranes sat two unusual figures, Elsa Reeves and Farhat Khan, the first humans ever admitted to the prestigious institution. "Today," Zalthor announced, his voice resonating through the amphitheater, "you will present the most significant medicinal contribution from your respective homeworlds. This exercise will demonstrate the pinnacle of your species' pharmaceutical advancement." One by one, students approached the demonstration platform. Acrylion presented a sophisticated neural regeneration serum derived from deep-sea organisms. Avexian showcased a crystal lattice that could accelerate cellular repair at the molecular level. Each presentation grew more impressive, more technologically advanced. Elsa glanced at Farhat, who sat beside her with a small thermal container in his lap. His dark eyes reflected the same mixture of anxiety and determination she felt. "They're going to think we're primitive," Elsa whispered, clutching her own contribution, a simple glass jar filled with golden liquid. Farhat smiled slightly. "Then we'll educate them. Isn't that why we're here?" When Farhat's name was called, he walked to the platform with steady confidence despite the curious stares from hundreds of alien eyes. He placed the thermal container on the examination table and opened it, revealing several sealed jars of thick, amber-colored substance. "This," Farhat began, his voice clear and unwavering, "is honey, a medicinal substance that humans have used for over 8,000 years. A ripple of confusion spread through the audience. Professor Zalthor leaned forward, his crystalline features refracting the laboratory lights into rainbow patterns. "Honey?" The professor's translator unit processed the word with obvious difficulty. "Please explain its origin and synthesis process." Farhat's expression remained serious. "It isn't synthesized. It's produced by insects called Apis mellifera, honeybees. They collect nectar from flowering plants, partially digest it, regurgitate it, and store it in hexagonal wax structures called honeycombs." The lecture hall erupted. Several students made sounds of disgust. A Morphidian in the third row actually retched into a waste receptacle. "You're telling this assembly," Zalthor said slowly, "that your species consumes insect vomit as medicine?" "Yes," Farhat replied without hesitation, "and it works remarkably well." He activated the holographic display and chemical formulas filled the air above him. Honey contains hydrogen peroxide, methyl glyoxal, and numerous phenolic compounds. Its low pH and high osmolarity create an environment hostile to bacterial growth. It's been proven effective against antibiotic-resistant bacteria, including MRSA and VRE. The disgust in the room began transforming into intrigue. Furthermore, Farhat continued, pulling up medical studies that floated in three-dimensional space. Honey accelerates wound healing, reduces inflammation, and possesses antioxidant properties. During Earth's ancient wars before modern medicine, honey saved countless lives by preventing infection in battlefield wounds. A Therian student raised a tentacle. "But surely your species has moved beyond such primitive remedies?" Farhat smiled. "We've tried. In the early 21st century, Earth faced a crisis of antibiotic resistance. Our most advanced synthetic antibiotics were failing. Hospitals began using medical-grade honey again, because evolution has not yet produced bacteria resistant to it. After millions of years, it still works." Professor Zalthor approached the jars, scanning them with his instruments. His expression shifted from skepticism to genuine fascination. "These readings are extraordinary. The antimicrobial spectrum is broader than many advanced pharmaceuticals." When Elsa's turn came, she walked forward with her simple glass jar, now less embarrassed and more proud. The golden honey inside caught the light, glowing like captured sunlight. "I'm presenting the same substance," Elsa said, "but I want to demonstrate something Professor Zalthor mentioned in our first lecture, that the best medicine is often the simplest." She opened the jar, and a sweet floral aroma filled the immediate area. Several alien sensory organs twitched with interest. "Honey requires no refrigeration, no special storage conditions, and no expiration date," Elsa explained. "Archaeologists found 3,000-year-old honey in Egyptian tombs, still perfectly edible. Try preserving your neural serums or crystal matrices for 3 millennia." She poured a small amount onto a sterile culture dish, already seeded with a common galactic pathogen. Within minutes, the bacterial colonies began dying, visible even without magnification. Humans learned early that nature had already solved many problems we were trying to engineer solutions for. Elsa continued. Honey taught us humility. It taught us to observe, to respect the smallest creatures, and to recognize that intelligence comes in many forms. She gestured to Farhat, who joined her at the platform. Together, they presented a unified front. You see primitive insect vomit, Farhat said. We see the product of millions of years of evolutionary refinement. Each bee visits hundreds of flowers. A single jar represents the life's work of thousands of bees and contains the genetic wisdom of countless plant species. It's not just medicine, Elsa added. It's a collaboration between species. Bees need flowers. Flowers need bees. Humans learn to be part of that relationship, not to dominate it. Professor Zalthor was silent for a long moment. Finally, he spoke, his voice carrying a new tone of respect. In my 3 centuries of teaching, I've seen medicines that can rebuild organs, extend lifespans by hundreds of years, and cure diseases you humans haven't even discovered yet. He approached the jar, his crystalline fingers reflecting the honey's golden glow. But I've never seen a medicine that teaches philosophy. He turned to address the entire class. The humans have reminded us of something we've forgotten in our rush toward technological supremacy. Sometimes the most sophisticated solution is the one that works with nature, not against it. As Elsa and Farhat returned to their seats, the whispers that followed them were no longer dismissive. They were curious, respectful, even admiring. A Krillian student leaned across the aisle. Do you think your bees would survive on other worlds? Farhat and Elsa exchanged glances, their eyes sparkling with possibility. Only one way to find out, Elsa replied. And in that moment they realized they hadn't just presented medicine. They'd planted seeds, seeds that might one day bloom across 1,000 alien worlds. Tended by creatures no bigger than a human thumb, producing liquid gold that could bridge the gap between humanity and the stars. The end.